Red Hot Chili Peppers. I had to play some music to start the stream tonight, guys. And by the way, YouTube, get your shit together. If I'm playing something from your platform, paying into your ad money, and then putting it back onto your platform, that's pretty much fair use. So don't be demonetizing me. Don't take my shit down. Anyway, what's going down, beautiful people? Welcome back to the stream. We had to kick it off a little bit on some radio vibes. So much to talk about tonight, man. So we are not going to waste any time. We are just going to jump right into it. Roger Waters is back in the news, slamming Donald Trump, speaking on the latest situations developing with Venezuela and Iran, and also doubling down on his stance towards Ozzy Osbourne, of course, which was incredibly hurtful to Ozzy's family. We covered that story previously on the channel. Now we're going to see what Roger has to say now that this story has absolutely blown up and really made him look bad. Later in the stream, we're going to take a look at Cenat quitting live streaming, and a bunch of clips off of social media. So let's hop into this right now. So Roger Waters appeared on the Piers Morgan Uncensored YouTube show to speak on a variety of different issues. Honestly, I'm not quite sure why he appeared on this podcast. He doesn't appear to have anything to promote. I don't believe he's dropping a new album or tour anytime soon. But if we know one thing about Roger Waters, we know this dude loves to hop on and basically speak to anybody who will listen. So things got very political, as they often do with him. Let's go ahead and roll the first clip and smash that like and subscribe, guys. Let's get that algorithm going to kick this stream off in the proper fashion.
So what do you think of Donald Trump? What do you think of Donald Trump?
He's demented. He's demented. He's obviously very evil, but now he's demented as well as being very evil. He was always a real scumbag. Everything he's ever done is awful in every way. So we can, you can disagree. You might think Donald Trump's, a jolly good chap. MAGA, make America, all that crap. None of which he believes. All he believes is in lining his pockets and the pockets of Jared Kushner and, and maybe some of his other children and his friends Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg and all the rest of the oligarchs, who are all in the same cabal.
But again, Roger, if you feel this way, why do you live in America?
So Roger Waters speaking on Trump, saying everything he's ever done is terrible. That's the first clip. We have a couple more lined up, but just a quick reaction to this one. This is the number one thing that the real Trump opposers always get wrong. And we've touched on this, in different moments on this stream. I always bring it back, not to be repetitive, but I bring it back to Chris Rock. The worst thing you can say, this is his quote, the worst thing you can say about a dude like Donald Trump when he did 3 bad things is that he did 4 bad things. Because what it does is it simply empowers his base, it empowers his supporters to say, hey, look, this guy's wrong, so all the other shit he's saying about Trump that's wrong must be fabricated too. This is what we saw happen when Trump first won in 2016. And I feel like all of these lies, all of this rhetoric, all of this conversation about Donald Trump is the most evil man on the planet, everything he's ever done is evil. All of this rhetoric, simply what it's done is create a lot more Donald Trump fans. And I really think that if we didn't see this rhetoric really rising back in 2016, Trump wouldn't have nearly as much of a passionate base as he does today. But the idea that everything he's ever done is terrible, even if you vehemently oppose almost everything he does, is still ridiculous. What we have to look at when we look at a politician is the actual facts. And we have to look at the performance record. If you look at Donald Trump's performance chart, especially from the first term, he got a lot of good things done. First term, a lot of good work made on the economy. Animal cruelty, made a felony. You look into the second term, a lot of good work done on the southern border. I've been very critical about the way that ICE has been implementing their work, but if you look at the southern border, crossings are down, drug trafficking entering the United States is down. And in the first term, too, Trump did a lot of good things for foreign affairs. He was the first American leader to enter North Korea through the DMZ. So that's just a couple things off the top of my head. But even if I vehemently oppose Donald Trump and I think he's an absolute scumbag, even if that's how I felt, I could still sit here and rattle off those facts. And the same would go for any president. I could name good things that Obama did. I could name good things that Joe Biden did. I could name good things that Bill Clinton did. And anybody who says they can't name a single good thing one of those presidents did is politically biased. But what that political bias does is it turns the people away from you who may have otherwise sided with you. You could maybe convince a dude that Trump isn't that great. But when you start cherry-picking facts and ignoring the good things he's done and saying he's the most evil Hitler Nazi on the planet, well, that's when you start to lose people. And people aren't going to believe any other words that come out of your mouth. Let's take a look at the next clip here. Got a couple clips. We're just going to run through the clips of Roger. And by the way, when you're calling people demented, and this isn't to be insulting, but when you're calling somebody demented, maybe try not also being demented yourself. You know, that's one of the things about Roger Waters. He's not demented. Let's put it that way. He's certainly not far from it. And throughout the clips, I did see a couple little pieces of this interview. And throughout this whole interview, Roger completely has all of his facts wrong, as we're about to play. He's getting dates wrong. He's getting basic names wrong. He didn't even know the name of, Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner. I almost forgot his name myself while trying to cook him. Maybe that's my karma. But yeah, maybe helps to not be demented yourself. Let's take a look at the next clip. Roger Waters speaking on Trump accepting money from AIPAC. Maybe this is something we'll agree on.
America is not a democracy. You can buy the presidency. Donald Trump did, and he buys it from AIPAC money and from oligarchical money and from donor money. The fact that you're allowed to pour millions and millions into politics makes it impossible for it to be democratic, not to mention the electoral.
So you live in an undemocratic country run by an evil, demented person. Again, I simply ask you, why are you still there?
So Piers presses him about why he still lives in America. That's our next clip that we have. But look, this is the thing about Roger Waters. Roger Waters is one of these crazy geniuses, sort of in the vein of a Charles Manson type of figure. That's the type of guy that Roger Waters reminds me of, because he'll be spewing this crap. He'll just be spewing the most ridiculous statements, factually inaccurate, doesn't have any research done, doesn't know what he's talking about whatsoever. With such confidence, he spews this rhetoric. But then the next moment, he'll have a spark of brilliance. The next moment, he'll have a statement that really, really makes sense. And this is a pretty obvious statement. Look, if you're still believing that America, the United States of America, is a democracy in 2026, if you still think your vote matters in 2026, you are either completely naive or beyond delusional. There's really no in between. The concept that people go and vote and it's just left up to us, it's a democratic, fair process, and they're not manipulating or buying votes or stealing votes or hiding votes. I mean, it's like Santa Claus for adults. That's sort of the way people who trust the government, that's really the way I see it. It's like Santa Claus for adults. You still believe that there's good people in government who show up to work every day in a suit, and they're racking their brains on how to make the American people's lives better. If you genuinely believe this still, you are a child. I don't care how old you are. You could be 50 years old. You are a 50-year-old man-child if you believe the government is democratic or has your best interest. So yeah, look, Roger Waters, he's spewing bullshit this whole interview. Then he comes in and makes sense with the AIPAC comment. And this is really maybe something that Roger should look at. Stick to what you know, my guy. Like Roger, I got nothing against Roger Waters. I actually love the music of Pink Floyd. But the only time I stop liking the music of Pink Floyd is when I remember that Roger Waters made it. I'm like, fuck. Why do I have to love their music if this guy made it? Okay, let's look at this clip. So this is Piers asking Roger Waters, this is probably the best question I think Piers has asked, by the way. If you hate the United States so much, why do you live there and why do you refuse to move? You have millions of dollars. You're incredibly wealthy. Why would you sit in a country and live there and complain? Let's listen.
But anyway, they would help you rebuild the bar. And those people still exist, but they have no voice. America is not a democracy. You can buy the presidency. Donald Trump did, and he buys it from APAC money and from oligarchical money and from donor money. The fact that you're allowed to pour millions and millions into politics makes it impossible for it to be democratic, not to mention the electrical.
So you live in an undemocratic...
It is pretty crazy how Trump did such a 180 about donors, though. Like, you guys remember in the first election cycle in 16 when he was ripping up the crowd of donors and the crowd was booing him and he was like, oh, you motherfuckers out there in the crowd, you're political donors and you guys are fake and the tickets were all bought by you guys. Now this dude's taking like $150 million from APAC. Crazy times.
Democratic country run by an evil, demented person. Again, I simply ask you, why are you still there?
Good question.
Well, I've looked at alternatives, I promise you. Portugal is a possibility.
Right.
I very much like some of the islands in the Caribbean, and
What do you mean you've looked at options? You're worth like $250 million. How much is Roger Waters worth? This dude is still sitting in America bitching and crowing when he's got, you know what? Maybe he's got more money than he knows what to do with. But Roger Waters' net worth as of 2026, $300 to $350 million. Bro's talking about, I'm looking at options.
And the governments that they have as well. I do follow what people think. So it may be that my residency in the United States may not last for the rest of my life. It may well be that Donald and his cabal will make that decision for me.
Well, why would you want to be there now then? We're literally at the peak of Trump's second term. You know what? This guy's so full of shit, it's sickening because this is, you know what this guy is? At his big old age of 83 years old, Roger Waters is officially the oldest performative man on the planet. It's so see-through, it's so performative, it's so insincere. There's people who actually hate the United States, who live there right now, who are walking to get out, who are trying to cross land borders to get out. I mean, I think people from other countries are typically a lot more determined. Americans don't have it like Cubans. A Cuban will be poor, stuck in Cuba. He'll swim to the fucking other country. He doesn't care. Americans aren't that tenacious when it comes to immigration. But nonetheless, there's people who do live in America who hate what's happening now, who actually have to live in America. And they don't even do 1/3 of the complaining and bitching and moaning that Roger Waters does. So this just tells me, you know what? If you're sitting in a country you don't like with $350 million in your bank account, contributing nothing and complaining about that country, how about you shut the fuck up and get out? How dumb is this guy?
He is pretty erratic, and he's got eyes. He could send masked men round to shoot me in the head through my car window, like he does to people who disagree with him. So I agree with you, Piers. We live in a really dangerous, totally effed up world. I couldn't agree with you more.
So why are you there?
And to find somewhere good to live.
He doesn't answer the question. Because he just wants attention. That's the thing. These performative complaining people, they just want attention.
It's difficult, you know, but we still have to clamber around the eyes that were given us by Karl Marx and others in the late 19th and in the middle 19th century, and try and find ways forward in the future that is not what we've got now. Because
it's so ridiculous. He's so ridiculous. So Piers actually turned it around. I got to shout out Piers on this interview because what do they say in the UK? They say a knob. He's a bit of a knob. I've always found Piers to be a bit of a knob. But I think he actually did a half decent job in this interview. So let's take a look at Piers finally pressing Waters, because the level of bullshit that Roger Waters was spewing during this interview is sickening. Like, let's just look at this part here.
You support him.
Piers asked why he's supporting Maduro.
There are many people out here flying the flag of Nicolas Maduro. I support him because he's the duly democratically elected leader.
This is what I'm talking about. Do you guys hear this shit? Nicolas Maduro was the duly elected leader of Venezuela. Now, for anybody who's not familiar with the story and why this is actually a controversial statement. First of all, let's say he was the duly elected leader and democratically elected leader, and it was all fair and square. Well, this is still the legacy and track record of Nicolas Maduro. I'm just reading a couple of bullet points here. He is known for making arbitrary arrests for people who oppose him in Venezuela, torturing and even killing those people in various situations. He's jailed his opponents. He has political prisoners and bans on opposing leaders. He's mismanaged the economy, tying it to hyperinflation, shortages, and mass immigration. And he's linked to narco charges. He's linked to a bunch of corrupt operations with drugs. Not to mention, there's a massive dispute as to whether or not he actually won the election in 2024. So this is what I'm talking about. When I say Roger Waters doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about, he's completely clueless. He has nothing. He has no information about Maduro. He has no information about any of this stuff. What I think this dude is simply a contrarian. That's what I think. He's a contrarian. He just likes to believe what other people don't believe. Makes him feel cool.
They're not. They were protesting against inflation and against the devaluation of the rye or whatever the currency is called. That's what they were. And they stopped protesting the minute anybody started talking about regime change.
They haven't stopped protesting.
Or
Well, they haven't stopped protesting.
The Shah's family.
Where are you getting this from?
Well, I'm not there. I'm not there. So
No,
I'll
you're
have
not
to
there.
take your
But where are
word
you
on
getting
that.
your information?
No, but I have lots of friends who are there because I have.
He's so dumb.
I'm philosophically quite close to the people of Iran. All right. And
What does that mean? I'm philosophically close to the people of Iran. Can I get a translator for old retard?
mass of the people.
I need an old retard translator. I don't speak this language.
This is what you keep not understanding, is the mass of the people are absolutely solidly opposed to the foreign interference. And this, of course, includes all of the sanctions against Iran that have caused the massive inflation and the devaluation.
But why do you
of their
think Iran
currency
has
and
been
so on.
sanctioned?
Because it's the last country on the list that Paul Wolfowitz told Wesley Clark about back whenever it was in the Pentagon, of the country.
Completely clueless. So yeah, guys, those were his statements about Trump and politics. Really, what my opinion is when I sit here and watch this is, Roger, why? I don't even want to ask him why he does it to himself, because I think we've established that he has zero self-awareness about how he comes across. So I'm not going to ask him why he does it to himself. I want to know, why do you keep doing it to us, Roger? Why do you keep doing this? Why do you keep getting on platforms that don't need you? You're doing interviews. You have nothing to promote. You're not dropping music. You're not touring. You're just sitting here crowing away and just talking absolute nonsense. And you're old and famous, so you have a platform. People will bring you on their shows, but that doesn't mean you're accurate. That doesn't mean you're saying anything of substance. But really, this just spoils the music, man. And I've talked about it before. I love Pink Floyd. Guys, I was a stoner kid in high school. I was the Pink Floyd kid, Dark Side of the Moon t-shirts. I had the poster with the ladies with the album covers on their backs, all the naked chicks by the pool. I've been a Pink Floyd fan for a while. But this dude is just so performative and insufferable that it just hurts. Now, one more little piece here. Piers Morgan decided to press Roger Waters about his comments on Ozzy Osbourne. Now, for anybody who saw my channel when we covered this story, Roger Waters came out right after Ozzy died doing an absolutely insane interview, just trashing Ozzy, trashing his legacy, saying he never made any valid contributions musically, and basically that he was just a kook, some guy who just got famous and really contributed nothing to metal. Again, a very ill-informed opinion that is not based in fact or reality, but I think we can come to expect this from Roger Waters. So this story got a lot of backlash. Sharon Osbourne responded and called Roger Waters not right in the head and said there's something wrong with him, which I tend to agree with. And even went as far as selling a t-shirt of Ozzy Osbourne, I guess, biting the head off Roger Waters like he was a bat. So this had a big blowback. The Osbourne family was very vocal about it. Piers is a good friend of the family, so let's see what Waters has to say when confronted about this issue.
The river.
Shout out to the chat, by the way. I see you guys. I'm reading. Let's get the dialogue going, man.
Okay.
To the sea, from all rivers to all seas.
Okay, and you've referenced the word empathy a few times, and I do want to end with something which was quite personal to me because it involved a friend of mine, which was that after Ozzy Osbourne, your fellow rock star, died.
Up.
Yeah. Well, after he died, you told The Independent, Ozzy Osbourne, who just died, bless him, in his whatever that state he was in his whole life, we'll never know. Although he was all over the TV for hundreds of years with his idiocy and nonsense, the music, I've no idea. I couldn't give a fuck. I don't care about Black Sabbath. I never did. Have no interest in biting the heads of chickens, whatever they do. I couldn't care less, you know. Do you think that was empathetic?
Listen, I didn't speak to The Independent. I assume you're talking about the Independent newspaper.
So at this point, he goes on a big tangent about which podcast he said it on. And he takes up like 10 minutes of airtime trying to say, oh, it wasn't this podcast, it was that podcast. And Piers is like, I literally don't care.
Just
answer the question.
He's an illustrator and cartoonist. He does all the drawings for
but this is all irrelevant. I don't understand why.
Excuse me.
When Ozzy Osbourne has just died, why would you trash him like that? If you're Mr. Empathy.
I haven't finished. Excuse me. May I finish? So those comments, I'm not denying that I said them, came in the middle of a long interview.
You still said
called The Independent Inc.
It makes no difference where you said
Hang on. In the middle of an hour and a half long interview.
So what?
And we were smiling at. Well, I mean. Do I have to like every rock group there ever was in the world, or people who bite the heads off bats?
Do you have to trash him in such a personal way? So soon after he died? I want to play you a clip from when Sharon came on my show because it really upset her.
Oh, I've seen it.
Well, let me play it again to remind our viewers. Let's take a look.
No, I don't want to see it. I'm not interested.
You're going to?
I'm not interested.
Because he's really insignificant. But I just thought, with anybody that passes, that has a family, you don't do that.
That's true, isn't it? If you're really empathetic, you don't do that to someone, to a family, when they've lost someone they love like that.
I had no idea that Sharon Osbourne would be watching a podcast by a very well-known and
but would you like to apologise then for the hurt you caused?
Filibustering is insane. And you know what this tells me? The fact that Roger can't just directly address the allegations, not even the allegations, the question about what he said. The fact that he can't directly address it tells me that he's not secure in what he said. I think the blowback to that comment that he made about Ozzy probably really surprised Roger Waters, because if he's truly as clueless as he claims to be, if he is not familiar with the contribution of Black Sabbath, completely inventing an entire genre of music which is still prominent in the space today, he's not familiar with the legacy of Ozzy's solo work, the fact that not only beyond Ozzy's own contributions to the metal space, he actually brought us some of the most skilled, undiscovered talent in heavy metal. I think if he didn't know any of this, he probably also didn't know how many people loved Ozzy Osbourne and how big the reaction to these statements would be. And I would imagine it surprised him. Because look, even the reaction to Ozzy's death, period, it surprised me. I mean, we were a month and a half out from his death, and it was still front page. I've never seen a reaction to a celebrity death next to Michael Jackson that, like we saw with Ozzy. So I do think that the blowback for this probably really surprised Roger, and I don't think he was prepared to defend himself. What do you guys think?
Yeah, of course I will. If I not that I have any time for Sharon Osbourne. She's a raging Zionist. and in consequence, she's not in my very, and she's all accused me of all kinds of things. She's constantly accused because she's part of the Israeli lobby.
Right. Would you
and
like
she
to
wants
apologise to the
silence me,
Osbourne
like
family for the way you trashed
Sharon Osbourne is part of the Israeli lobby? Is this verified?
Ozzy Osbourne in that
Not
interview?
really. Look, no,
You don't
not
want to.
really.
Okay,
To Jack.
you did want to, now you
Listen,
don't.
Jack. No, well, Jack, Jack Osbourne. If he wants to have a chat, I'll have a chat with him.
Jack Osbourne lost his dad, who
happily,
he loved.
and I won't be nasty to him. Well, I'm sorry you lost your dad, Jack. But this is like, you have conversations about things and about people in. What do you think? Well, not a lot. I was honest. I said I didn't like Black Sabbath, but that's not. I think I've listened to some of it since, and the music is.
And now he's listening to Black Sabbath. Oh, the reaction blew him out of the water. Pun intended. Roger Waters got blown out of the water when imagine the hate mail he got from dissing Ozzy. And you know what? You should. You're sitting here with zero knowledge, first of all, of the space that you claim to be in. Hard rock and heavy metal, or rock and metal period, are like this. You claim to be one of the most prominent figures in the space. You claim to be, the visionary behind Pink Floyd, and you're so much better than David Gilmour. David Gilmour knows Black Sabbath. Okay, and shout out to David Gilmour. Listen, every time Roger Waters opens his mouth, I have more respect for David Gilmour. But yeah, he didn't know what was coming. But now you're going to go listen to them? That's rich.
What do you think? Well, not a lot. I was honest. I said I didn't like Black Sabbath, but that's not. I think I've listened to some of it since, and the music is perfectly kind of accept. It was all the kind of histrionics of. I don't like people who bite the heads off bats. I just don't. I think it's disgusting. And I've said that again now. I know he's dead, and he can't come back and go, yeah, I'm sorry I bit the heads off bats. If he ever did, who knows whether he did or not.
What do you mean, who knows whether he did or not? It's well documented. I'm literally having a stroke trying to follow this man's train of thought. But the one thing I will say is it's very obvious that he actually regrets his statements. And people in the chat are asking, like, what's wrong with Roger's opinion? Why isn't he allowed to have his own opinion? I'll answer that question. And this, to me, by the way, is the only area that I think Roger is actually correct on. You don't have to give a shining eulogy to a person just because they passed away. I'm not of the belief that you have to honor somebody you didn't like just because they died. So, the idea that Roger Waters should have been asked in this interview, what do you think of Ozzy? And he should have sat there and said, well, he was God's gift to metal. He was, the Prince of Darkness. He was the pioneer of this space. I don't think Roger should have said that at all. And if that's not what he feels, then even more so. But what you don't have to do right after the guy dies, and he has a family, is go and trash him excessively, because the comments were excessive. Basically said he was famous for nothing, doesn't know heads from tails, he's an idiot, didn't contribute anything to music. These are seriously loaded statements for anybody, but especially like a week and a half after the guy died. All you would have had to have said is what you just said now. And this shows me that Roger has done some thinking about this. He's done some thinking and some reflection, which is very rare for him, to figure out what he should have said. All you have to say is, look, I'm not an Ozzy fan, never was, never liked his music, never listened to it. But you know what? The guy put in a lot of work for the space. He's just passed away. Rest in peace. I'm sorry to the family. How hard was that? Does that make me Ozzy's #1 fan if I say that? No. But you don't have to sit there and disrespect a man who just died, who just put on one of the most breathtaking, awe-inspiring performances of all time. And I don't know if Roger Waters now knows Ozzy's music, or I don't know if he now realizes his mistake. But what I do know is this. Nobody can say anything about what Ozzy Osbourne has given to music. Beyond metal, one of the most impressive and legendary solo careers of all time in music. So I don't want to hear anything about Ozzy. I really don't. So I'm glad Piers pressed him on this. What's the chat thinking on this one? I'm trying to read this one comment, but I speak English, guys, so I can't read. If you don't know how to spell, I can't read it. People can be wrong about some things, says Joseph, and right about others. Exactly. I think he was watching earlier in the stream. Charlie Kirk is absolute. Why are you guys talking about Charlie Kirk? What does this have to do with Charlie Kirk? I've seen like 20 comments about Charlie Kirk. War Pigs is about Trump, says Richard. Richard, that's a very, very good point, my friend. Actually, you know what? I would say that a song like War Pigs, it's crazy how it becomes even more relevant as time goes on. That's the crazy part. That's why I don't understand how somebody could diss Ozzy Osbourne's contribution to music. And since we're on the topic of Pink Floyd, I would say that Sabbath and Pink Floyd, pretty on par when it comes to longevity and impact. Like, I would say a record like Paranoid is up there with Dark Side of the Moon. I think they're very comparable. I would say, Master of Reality is up there with, Wish You Were Here, that's a pretty... Let's not get carried away. I think those are two different comparisons. But Master of Reality is up there with Metal by Pink Floyd. Let's put it that way. So I think there's a lot there. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Was Roger Waters wrong about his statements? I think there's a little more here, actually, too.
Bite the heads off bats. I just don't. I think it's disgusting. And I've said that again now. I know he's dead. And he can't come back and go, yeah, I'm sorry I bit the heads off bats. If he ever did, who knows whether he did or not. And,
what do you know, Roger? What do you know?
I don't want to talk about.
So you don't regret the things you said about Ozzy Osbourne and the hurt that caused his family?
Piers, I regret nothing in life except that I haven't been more successful in getting people to understand how important it is that we as a human race recognize and empathize with all our brothers and sisters all over the world.
Oh, it's the same old crap, Roger. Come off it, man. I can't listen to it anymore, Roger. I can't sit here and listen to this anymore. It's just so ridiculous. So listen, man. Continue destroying your legacy. Continue just digging that hole deeper and deeper, brother. God bless you. I love Adam Carolla's comment. Comfortably dumb. That's what Carolla... Where are my rock and metal fans at, by the way? Do I have my rock and metal fans in the chat right now or what? I'm seeing all this discussion. Maybe I want to play like... Maybe we should play a little... Ozzy clip before we go to the next story. I feel like we need a little Ozzy clip. Oh, here's my clip. Should we watch my clip? Oh, God, look at me here. How many? So this had to be 2016, actually. We're not going to watch a clip of me, but this is Zakk Wylde on my show. This is a funny one.
Your Desert Island album, favorite of all time, what do you name?
I think you'd have to go anything with Zeppelin or Sabbath. Wait, who do you got?
Black Sabbath, Sabotage.
Okay, well, that one's another classic as well. That specific record, I'd put Ozzy's vocal performance on that. They're all great on every record, but I mean, his vocal performance on that, when I asked him, I said, Oz, on that album, your singing is just like Pavarotti level on that one. And he just goes, I go, did you do anything? Did you eat your Wheaties that morning? He goes, no, Zach, just a lot of drugs. I go, well, there you have it, kids.
I remember when I told Zach that Sabotage was my favorite Sabbath record, he looked at me like, this kid knows ball. I think I first got on the tour bus with Zach, and he's looking at me like, what the fuck does this kid know about metal? Which is funny because I probably know more about metal than most people, but people get this thing when they look at me where they think I'm like one of these new gen kids. Like they think I listen to Playboy Cardi, and which I do, I mean, on occasion, but I still know my history. But I remember Zach was looking at me like, who the fuck is this kid? And what does he know? He probably played Guitar Hero when he was growing up, and that's the extent of his knowledge. When I told him Black Sabbath Sabotage, yeah, he liked that. Let's watch like 2 seconds. Just like 2 seconds of the final show.
Featuring Geezer Butler.
You know what I love about the Ozzy show too is how well they planned his appearance. How well they planned it for him to be sitting down and for it actually to still rock. Here's the thing. I was thinking about the final Ozzy show recently and like how challenging it really must have been to pull that off. And the fact that they even went for it, given what we now know about the state of his health, is really quite shocking. Because essentially what was said by going through with this show by Ozzy was, I am comfortable dying on stage. Yes, we knew that he was having serious issues. Yes, we knew that he wasn't going to be around another 5-10 years. But I don't think anybody out there knew that he was going to die 2 weeks after this show. And he risked it. He risked dying on stage in front of his audience. He risked falling out of his chair or just having some sort of ridiculous, catastrophic thing happen to taint his image. And obviously the fans wouldn't have held it against him, but it could have been a bad night for Ozzy Osbourne. It wasn't a sure thing that this show was going to go off the way it did without a hitch. And when I think about this show in those terms, the courage is just incredible. There's so much courage involved with this final show, and I wish I would have literally walked across the globe to go to that show. I won't call it a regret, because the only reason I didn't go is because I'm not made of money. I mean, it would have cost me like $5,000 to go to this one concert. But if it's the closest to regret that I'll ever feel is missing that last Ozzy show. There was one more. This one here. This is when they first put him up on the stage. Oh shit, they just showed it to me. Or if it wants to disappear. But yeah, guys, so I'm not going to go down the rabbit hole. You guys know me. I love my bands. I could go down the Ozzy rabbit hole. Here it is when he first got put on stage. Look at that smile, man. Let me fucking hear. Make sure to smash that like button and subscribe if you've been liking the streams so far. We're live every single day here on the channel on the road to 100,000 followers, so make sure to show some love. Had to take yesterday off. We had a travel day yesterday, so I went from Thailand to Malaysia. So I'm currently in Malaysia now. And, you know, this travel day yesterday, you know, we've been talking lately on the stream about me finding reasons to get my money up and try to really, really stack some funds. I don't think I really have realized how much travel sucks when you're not rich. When you're just flying economy and you're just doing regular shit, how much travel sucks. I had the classic move yesterday where they caught me with the suitcase. I bought the airline ticket without adding the baggage online, which I should have done. But this is when I'm like, I wish I just had the disposable income. I go up to the baggage counter. My flight from Thailand to Malaysia was $94. Baggage claim wanted 275 Canadian dollars to check my bag in. I laughed right in the bitch's face. I literally looked at her, I laughed. They're looking at me like, sir, what's the problem? I said, hold on a second. Give me that passport back. I'll be right back. And guys, I did it. Listen, I never thought I'd do it, but I did the move this time. I went to the stairwell. I opened up the suitcase, and I put on every piece of clothing that I own. Stacked it up, put a hoodie over it too. I looked normal. This was the beauty of it. I looked completely normal, but I was wearing 19 shirts and 42 pairs of pants. Deadass threw the suitcase away. I'm like, if there was ever a reason to try to get rich, if there was ever a reason to make sure you're never in this situation again, it's something just like this. So that sucked, but it was okay to get here to Malaysia. I was prepping for the stream tonight, so I haven't got to go look around at all. But yeah, so we're here chilling. We're here vibing. Very different country, very different vibes. It's a Muslim majority country, so they're very strict on a lot of things. Very little drinking culture. Pornography is strictly illegal. There's a lot of things here that you can't do. So Not that it really matters to me. I'm just going to go out and enjoy the vibes, see what we can get up to in Malaysia. Let's go to the next story here. Oh, it's totally first world problems. Absolutely, dude. What are you joking? I literally just told you how I need to get rich when I'm already middle class. That already is the definition of a first world problem. Let's look at this clip. So Sneeko, live streamer Sneeko, it says, got into a heated argument with two Israeli men after they scream anti-Semite at him, and he ends up dismantling their claims and exposing how uninformed they are. This should be interesting.
Why?
How is Sneeko an anti-Semite, though? I've never really seen that from him.
What? Why?
Hey, thanks, Eric. I appreciate it. Yeah, we'll do some content from out here. We'll do live streams and different stuff out here.
Why?
Why? You're fucking anti-Semitic as fuck.
How am I anti-Semitic?
You are.
I'm part Jewish myself. I don't hate Jews.
Yeah, sure.
What are you talking about? I am part Jewish.
You're part Jewish?
Yes.
Yeah.
And also, I don't hate Jews. What are you talking about?
You just spread brain rot bullshit.
Well, brain rot bullshit. What are you talking about?
Yeah, you know you say shit. Come on.
What? Like what? Tell me.
Yeah. What?
No, you can't say something like that and not know what I'm talking about. I love everybody. My community is called love speech. I don't spread hate.
Yeah, you and the other guy, Flexi guy.
Who?
I don't know. Flexi Felix. What's his name?
I don't know what you're talking about.
That one Indian guy.
He doesn't even know the guy's name he's criticizing.
I don't know what you're talking about. Criticizing Israel has nothing to do with hating Jews.
What?
You can criticize a country. It doesn't mean you hate people.
Yeah?
I don't hate anybody. You're the one, rage baiting. You're the one flipping somebody off on the street. You don't know what you're talking about.
Talk shit all the time.
Like what?
All the time.
You have no idea what you're the one throwing up your middle fingers. I'm not talking shit.
Of course you do.
I criticize Israel, and that's
Brain rot bullshit you spread.
you said that twice, and you don't like what? What's brain rot?
What do you do? I don't know.
You don't know?
I see you all the time.
If you don't know what you're talking about, then don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, this is so embarrassing. This is so embarrassing. And by the way, why is it always the people who don't watch the creator who have the most to say about said creator? We see it all the time with Joe Rogan. Every day online, I'm seeing an article from CNN, a major news corporation, a major newspaper, telling me that Joe Rogan is a fringe right-wing conspiracist, and he says this and he does that. Most of these people have never even watched a single episode of Joe Rogan's show. It's like the people who speak the most vocally about Rogan or Alex Jones or Candace Owens, they literally don't even know the content. It's little clips that are taken out of context, but they're always the loudest about it too. They don't know shit.
You guys are bullshit. No one needs to know the exact quotes you said.
It's not exact quotes. What's a belief I said?
You know what you believe in, obviously.
What do I believe in?
What do you
think I believe in? I told you 3 times that I criticize Israel. I don't think we should be giving money to a foreign country.
We give money to everybody.
Yeah, we give most money to Israel.
No, you give to China, Iran.
We don't money to China.
Yeah,
Our tax.
we just got $2 million.
What money do they give to China in the same vein as they do with Ukraine and Israel? I don't believe that even happens at all. This guy doesn't know anything.
Okay, do they have a lobby? What's the Chinese lobby in America?
China helps other countries more than they receive help.
We give money to everybody.
Yeah, we give most money to Israel.
No, you give to China, Iran.
We don't money to China.
Yeah,
Our tax.
We just got $2 million.
Okay, do they have a lobby? What's the Chinese lobby in America?
Qatar doesn't pay almost
Qatar is not committing a genocide in Palestine.
They just spent $2 trillion for U.S. influence.
What genocide is Qatar committing?
$2 trillion. What genocide?
In Iran? Yeah, I don't want to go to Iran. I don't want to go to these foreign wars. I don't want to spread hate. I don't want more wars and keep funding this.
They're funding it. Qatar. They spent $2 trillion.
Qatar's funding it. They want to get the U.S. to get involved in Iran.
Qatar lobbies more money though.
The Qatar, you saying Qatar has more influence in Israel?
$2 trillion. They just spent
Okay. You're saying that our politicians are controlled by Qatar.
Charlie Kirk, all those guys.
Charlie Kirk's paid by Qatar?
Of course he is.
Okay, he's paying turning point.
What a ridiculous. Do people actually believe this stuff? I mean, you know, I feel like some people really believe it, but other people are just spouting talking points, buzzwords and talking points. But you'd have to be pretty dumb to actually believe that Israel has no influence and it's all Qatar on the United States. Are we talking about the same country?
Point USA. Did you see what they just had at Mar-a-Lago this morning, the Jerusalem dinner?
So what?
They had that whole Eyes Wide Shut party with the flags everywhere. How you doing?
Oh, yeah. Did you guys see that, by the way? There was some weird... I'll show you guys the clip that Sneeko's talking about. So there was some weird dinner that happened at Mar-a-Lago, Trump's golf resort in Florida. And people are calling it an Eyes Wide Shut party because people were dancing in masks like the movie Eyes Wide Shut. Look at this. This is a real video from Mar-a-Lago. Whoa. That's so scary to me, bro. There's something so sickening to me about dressing up like a true-to-life animal when you're a human. Because how sick do you have to really, really be? This is insane. I'm actually stunned that Trump even allowed this to happen. So yeah, that's the context for what Sneako's talking about in this clip.
Had that whole Eyes Wide Shut party with the flags everywhere. How you doing? Netanyahu's visiting.
But can somebody explain that clip to me, please? I'm super confused.
At Mar-a-Lago this morning, the Jerusalem dinner. They had that whole Eyes Wide Shut party with the flags everywhere. How you doing? Netanyahu's visiting 5 times at Mar-a-Lago. Is it the leader of Qatar? Huh?
Was your page club or your
Sneako.
Sneako? Okay.
He's the number one support. They're the number one country supporting the United States right now.
Bro, you're getting approached by fans, by the way, during a debate when somebody's trying to tell you you suck. That's a flex. These guys like, fuck you. All your content is brain rot. Bro, brain rot. This dude's like, excuse me, I need to greet my fans.
It's just not true at all.
What country
Okay,
for?
have they visited 5 times here? Do they control? Do 98% of their politicians get elected?
Does Israel help support the United States when they go and fight?
What do we get from Israel? What do we get from Israel?
Israel fights our battles.
They did not deploy one troop.
See, look how stupid some of the comments in the chat are. Somebody says, hey man, it's just a fancy dress-up party. Get over yourself. Get a grip. You're literally the same type of person. Who said that? What type of fucking idiot just said that? Nick, let me tell you something, Nick. You're the same dude who would be sitting there like, guys, what do you mean we can't trust the government? Why would the government lie to us? You guys really think the government would tell us a lie? They're working for us. I'm not going to pander to the lowest common denominator on this app, dude. Some of these comments are really fucking stupid. I'm not going to lie.
How you doing?
I got love for the real ones in the chat, but the stupid shit, no.
Netanyahu's visiting 5 times at Mar-a-Lago. Is it the leader of Qatar? Huh?
Was your page club or your
Sneako.
Sneako? Okay.
He's the number one support. They're the number one country supporting the United States right now.
That's just not true at all.
What country
Okay,
for?
have they visited 5 times here? Do they control? Do 98% of their politicians get elected?
Does Israel help support the United States when they go and fight?
What do we get from Israel? What do we get from Israel?
Israel fights our battles.
They did not deploy one troop.
What do you guys think? Does Israel have too much influence on the USA or not? Just yes or no. Does USA have too much influence? Sorry, I think I'm saying that backwards. Does Israel have too much influence on the USA? I want to see your thoughts, yes or no.
Do 98% of their politicians get elected?
Does Israel help support the United States when they go and fight?
What do we get from Israel? What do we get from Israel?
Israel fights our battles.
They did not deploy one troop in Iraq. They did not deploy one IDF troop in Iraq.
They knocked out the nuclear site.
Antibiotic. Yeah, and the vaccine, the COVID vaccine too.
Israel invented antibiotics. You know which lives were saved by Israel?
Antibiotics?
Over 31
We don't need
million
we don't need to fight your wars because of antibiotics. We could buy your antibiotics without fighting your wars. Iraq wasn't fighting your wars.
People in the fucking country, bro.
One of the other Nicks in the chat says he felt called out. Other Nick, I'm not calling you stupid. I'm sorry, other Nick.
Get from Israel.
Israel fights our battles.
They did not deploy one troop in Iraq. They did not deploy one IDF troop in Iraq.
They knocked out the nuclear site.
Antibiotic. Yeah, and the vaccine, the COVID vaccine too.
Israel invented antibiotics. You know which lives were saved by Israel?
Antibiotics?
Over 31
We don't need
million
we don't need to fight your wars because of antibiotics. We could buy your antibiotics without fighting your wars. Iraq wasn't fighting your wars.
Successful people in the fucking country, bro.
Okay.
They Jews are the most successful.
You just said Qatar is the most controlling. Now you're saying Jews have the most control in the country?
Oh, he cooked himself. No, he cooked himself.
Jews are the most successful.
You just said Qatar is the most controlling. Now you're saying Jews have the most control in the country? So is it Jews or Qataris?
Jews contribute a lot to society.
Nah, that's a facepalm moment.
Don't deserve to get hunted down and all the.
When did I say that?
No, the point is.
And the hate that is being spread by
Who's hunting you down?
You said free Palestine to River to Sea all the time, and you know where you stand, bro. So
Hold on, you know how many
want
times
Israel to be destroyed? That's fine, bro.
Destroy?
I'm not a type of. Listen, I seen you when I was a younger doing red pill shit. It's fine, bro. It's cool.
See, that guy's smart. He stepped out of the frame. I think the guy on the left realizes how dumb he sounds. This guy's, it's going to take him a while. I think this guy's going to have to learn the hard way.
I didn't flip you off for myself, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day,
At least you have some respect.
Yeah, at the end of the day, though, it's like, Bro, it's like I don't.
You can't complain about being hunted down, being hated, and then flip somebody off on the street and not know what you're talking about. And then immediately,
Oh, I thought he took the high road. He came back.
oh, like you guys spreading hate. You're the one flipping people off. Back it up. You don't even know. You don't even know. You said it's for brain rot. You brought up nothing. You don't even know what I said.
The whole thing with that Palestine thing, Israel offered to stay multiple times. I'm sure you could probably disagree. I'm sure you have your own things, but they offer to stay multiple times. The whole
They
thing,
just had the ceasefire. They continue to shoot Palestinians right now.
No, they don't.
There's videos that are just showing up. They're shooting over the border.
They need to
Hamas.
anyways.
October 7th. You're really gonna?
Not even October 7th. Everything.
Everything what?
And every
But
time
they
try to
target
defend
the
themselves,
civilians.
they got Pakistan
Let
fighting now,
me tell you
all
something.
those countries.
If someone does something to you, right? You don't think it's a fair punishment?
By the way, can we stop with October 7th? Can we please stop with October 7th? Every conversation becomes circular when you go back to that. October 7th was not the beginning of the issue. And by the end of this issue, I can guarantee October 7th won't even be relevant. Stop with October 7th. And stop with January 6th. I don't want to hear about any of this shit.
Let's say
This didn't start on October 7th. It started in 1948.
1948, and guess
Yeah.
what? Israel won fair and square. It was from the British mandate, right?
Okay, yeah.
They gave it to Israel.
So
Obviously.
then, why continue to bomb? So then why continue to
bomb?
why
Because
continue to
why
kill
they come
people?
across the border with a bunch of guns?
Because you've been
kidnapping
bombing them.
people?
You said you won the
Bro,
war.
the
You've been
whole-
they've been
the
killing.
war would have been finished way easier.
But they continue to keep killing nonstop since then. So
Bro,
what do you
it's
expect?
Not really that true,
It's an
though.
open air
It's not
prison.
that
They're
true.
destroying the
Israel
food
is a
supply.
very efficient army.
Yeah, obviously.
Obviously, they look how much
Obviously. Obviously, everyone's destabilized except for Iran right now.
If Israel put their guns down, would they be killed?
Yes, they would. Come on,
If Israel put their guns down, would they be killed?
Yes.
They were living peacefully before 1948.
The
Jews were living peacefully.
Jews can't
stand there and just be
They
like,
left
yeah,
Gaza in 2005.
They were living peacefully before
Okay,
1948.
chat, should we skip this clip? We have 2 more minutes in this clip. Do we keep watching or skip?
What if they invest in
I feel like this Israel-Palestine rabbit hole is a no-win situation.
money that Qatar, let's say $2 trillion, right?
Six-day war.
We'll give it a couple seconds.
They help support Gaza to be an actual great country.
Israel
What- what- what
They
is-
have the best civilian ship ever.
That should have been the whole point. After
They
the
left
war,
in 2005 and
after
everything.
you finish a war,
They live on the beach.
And then you kept bombing them.
No, they kept bombing them. They kept getting
You can't
shot.
act like a victim when you continue to
No
kill.
one's victimized.
And if you're the most effective military, how are you going to call it a war towards a rogue military group?
It's smaller than New Jersey, the entire state of Israel.
And so what is Hamas? These people with AK-47s that grew up in a prison, that grew up in a genocide, resistance fighters, you're going to say?
I heard you say like Israel did 9/11, but the whole I want to know your point of view on like who was shooting at the troops in Afghanistan, like Israel, like who was shooting? Like I don't understand like, the whole point. Like why they take all the credit? Why all that? Like why would Afghanistan?
Why who takes credit? The Taliban won that war. First off,
obviously probably
the Taliban won.
Joe Biden was a fucking idiot.
Okay.
The point is though, is like why do you say Israel did 9/11?
Because the U.S. fights for your wars because the U.S. fights
That's not true.
Israel. That's not true.
Israel fights the United States wars.
What war? What have you fought? What war have you fought for us?
Everything they
Name
do.
one.
What the hell is this guy talking about?
United States wars.
What war?
Israel fights the United States wars is crazy.
That's not true.
Israel. That's not true.
Israel fights the United States wars.
What war? What have you fought? What war have you fought for us?
Everything they
Name
do
one.
is the United States.
What war has Israel fought for the U.S.?
Everything that Israel's done has been funded by the United States.
So now you're changing your
Because the United
You just said
States
Israel fights some wars. You
has
can't say any.
Bro, I can't with this guy. Who is this guy?
You haven't fought any war for us.
It's the only
You fought no war
civilized
for
place in the Middle East.
You deployed not one troop in Iraq.
You say Palestine. Why don't you speak about Iran right now?
What?
Why don't you speak about Iran?
Yeah, I don't want to get involved in this war. I'm tired of fighting your wars. I don't want the U.S. to keep getting involved.
Everybody. But no one speaks about that. They kill their own people.
There's something killing everybody that said that it was 20,000, it was 2,000. We should not get involved. I don't want to get involved in more foreign conflicts.
If you're going to care about somebody, care about your own people.
I am. I care about America. No, I don't. I care about America. We are.
Bro, these guys are literally brain dead. Just listen to that last part of the exchange. I don't think here's what Sneeko said. Sneeko goes, I don't think my country should be involved in foreign affairs. To which this man responds, you should worry about your own country. I need to watch, guys, because I do want to leave this stream with a couple of brain cells. I want at least a couple intact.
Yeah, I am. I care about America. No, I don't. I care about America. We are not going to get in Iran to fight another war for you.
And Israel is one to help Iran.
So after bombing so many Palestinians for years, now you care about the people of Iran? They say death to America. That's why. Why do you think that there's so many people in the Middle East say death to America, if that's even true, these videos. Because we're fighting wars for Israel in the Middle East. We killed 1 million Iraqis, killed all these people looking for weapons of mass destruction.
Why the UAE today say Israel's one of their favorite nations? Why?
Because the Arab leaders work in Israel. The Arab leaders work in Israel.
No, bro, it's bullshit. No. When you have high class, you understand the people who invented the MRI, the i7, i9 chips, all the NVIDIA has the second biggest plant over there in Israel. Why? Israelis are stupid. They don't do nothing for society.
Who said they were stupid? Obviously you're smart. Obviously, if you could control our country, you're pretty smart.
Oh my goodness, bro. These guys just keep digging deeper and deeper. Sneeko with the quick little quips. Just Sneeko's quick, bro.
They're just stupid.
That's not the dude I would want to debate on a live stream unless I really knew my shit. Like, I would debate Sneeko, sure. But unprepared on the street with no notes, no facts whatsoever, no guidelines, fuck that.
Jews control the country. It's
oh wow! What about Jeffrey Epstein? Wasn't the best honeypot? That wasn't the best honeypot operation of all time.
Fucking American, bro.
Jeffrey Epstein. Who was he working for? He was a liberal.
You would have been invited by. You would have went to Jeffrey Epstein's island. You got invited.
Absolutely not. It's disgusting. I would have. I would have went to Epstein's island. Okay. Absolutely not.
You're gonna tell me something.
Who did Epstein work for? I'm not going to Epstein's island. First off, this is a stupid conversation. Second off, who is he working for? You're asking how they control. Just because you would, you don't need to come and project, bro. If you like discussing things, you like discussing things.
That's what you like.
Yeah, sure. Who did Epstein work for?
Who did Epstein work for?
Yeah. What intelligence agency? Who did you work for?
They're not ready for this conversation, chat. They're not ready for this conversation. I know you and I are. You watching this and me, we're beyond ready for this conversation. But that's an awfully good question, Sneeko. Who did Jeffrey Epstein work for? I mean, certainly he wasn't an American financier because, well, a financier in New York City would have financial records. There's no such thing that exists with Jeffrey Epstein. There's no records of him being a financier whatsoever. Zero. So he had a lot of money. Millions, actually billions perhaps. Private island, private jets, boats, estates. Who could Jeffrey Epstein have been working for?
Tar?
You?
He's avoiding the question.
Did you get paid by
avoiding the question.
You and Charlie Kirk?
Obviously, I didn't get paid by.
Listen, I bet you all the files are redacted, brother. Fucking like.
Yeah, why do they redact the files? Who does it implicate?
Why? Because the CIA redacts all the files. The United States, you're not gonna know shit about.
You're not answering the question.
United States
who did Epstein work for? Who did Epstein? It's a simple question. I've been answering your questions all. Who do you work for? Qatar?
I think he worked for himself. I think he just got rich.
For himself? He got rich by himself? He became a billionaire doing nothing? He wasn't funded by Les Wexner, one of the richest Zionists in America.
Bro, it doesn't matter.
Ghislaine Maxwell, his girlfriend.
A Zionist is just someone who believes Israel has a right to exist. It's nothing to do with the whole mentality. You can be
You're not answering the question. Who did he work for? He was just self-funded. He got.
Oh my God. I need to make sure I actually heard this correctly.
Israel has a right to exist. It's nothing to do with the whole mentality. You can be.
You're not answering the question. Who did he work for? He was just self-funded. He got all the best politicians.
Bro, I don't really fucking honestly.
You don't care? Okay, if you don't care, you don't know, and you're saying it's brain rot, figure out what you're talking about.
You get the money from.
Maybe research this a little bit.
Nah, Sneeko destroyed those two idiots. Dumb and Dumber over here were completely outclassed, and I gotta tell you, by the way, one, if you're gonna approach somebody, see, here's what happens with influencers. I put this word in quotes because I hate the word influencer, but with influencers and streamers, here's what happens with these guys. That gives people on the street the cojones to go up to them and try to debate them. What people tend to think is that being a streamer or an influencer is a job for dumb people. So no matter how articulate you are on the camera or behind the microphone, because they aren't listening anyway to your comments, they aren't listening to your videos or your podcasts, so they don't know what you actually have to say, they just know that you're an influencer, regardless of the content of your speech. So they think a guy who's walking around on camera making money off YouTube and Kick is a dumb guy. So they think that if they approach him, there's no threat. And again, having not watched these people's shows and seen that there's actually a lot of very high IQ, intelligent streamers and YouTubers, they're not all running around doing backflips. It's a pretty dangerous assumption to make about somebody. And also, I'll say, I think Sneeko is a really bad person to target with this, too, because of all the streamers, I actually think Sneeko is one of the more positive influences in the space. I mean, he talks about, preventing wars, not using drugs, not watching porn. He's a big proponent of a lot of positive things. And people say he's a fake Muslim and all that. Look, whether he is or isn't, really, I don't really care, to be honest. I like the fact that he's at least promoting religion because, like I said before, I'm not a religious person. But I think with the degeneracy in today's world, a little bit of religion being sprinkled in the mix isn't a bad thing. It's a nice, natural antidote to degeneracy when it works for people. So, yeah, I don't think Sneeko spreads brain rot. Why do I keep saying brain rot? I sound like I have a fucking, like I have a speech impediment. Brain rot. I don't think he spreads brain rot. I think he spreads pretty good information. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Who won the debate? Was it Sneeko? They say he's a fake Muslim. Maybe I should go do some interviews here because I'm in a Muslim country. Maybe, okay, here's what I'll do. I'll go do this tomorrow. I'll do some street interviews and I'll get some qualities of fake Muslims like celebrities, Ruby Rose, Sneeko, and I'll either show a video or I'll do something. I'll ask them what they think of this. Does this make you a real Muslim? We'll have to brainstorm it, guys. We'll sit down and write it down. But yeah, I want to go figure that out. Although I might get kicked out of the country if I show a Muslim dude a video of Ruby Rose twerking. That might be my last day in Malaysia, but I digress. Let's take a look at this. So this is interesting. New footage of the uncontacted Amazonian tribes, I believe in the Andaman Islands. That's off the top of my head. The Andaman Islands, right? Is that what it's called? Yeah, I think so, yeah. Yeah, Andaman Islands. So these are the people who are uncontacted. They haven't been contacted by anybody. And the last person who tried to contact them was actually killed and ripped to shreds. Some new footage of them has emerged on the Lex Fridman podcast. Let's take a look.
But see, as they come closer, they start laying down their... See, he's laying down his bow and arrow.
And now they're all standing in a relaxed...
Yeah.
And smiling? Are they smiling?
Smiles come at some point. I would say that one of these guys seemed like... in a leadership position. He did most
Imagine showing these guys TikTok brain rot videos. Can you imagine just rolling up to this island with an iPad and just putting on like a 6-7 meme? Just like some stupid TikTok shit. I don't know. They would either love it, like they would hate it, or you become their new leader.
to the talking.
Did you have a sense of hierarchy at all? Like the boss?
Again, there was just these two dominant guys, and like this guy and one other guy who looked almost like him, like his brother.
Yeah.
Gesturing.
But see, I'm more fascinated about what they think about the outside world. I'm not that fascinated in the life of the uncontacted tribes because I feel like we're making a story where there's nothing when it comes to that. These dudes wear bamboo cloths, they shit in the bushes, and they eat anything that moves on the island that's not human. That's pretty much the sum of their day. You know, I would imagine that maybe, you know, they sketch a board game into the sand. You know, they put a little square, maybe some tic-tac-toe with their fingers. But I think their day-to-day is pretty consistent. I'm more fascinated in what they would think about us because our day-to-day is a lot more varied.
Wow.
But see, even that, as he's pointing, we're going, what are you pointing at?
But yeah, Yes in the chat is saying they wouldn't care. That's the beauty of it. They don't give a damn. Whoa. Okay, so they're giving them stuff that they know what it is, so that they don't think it's a threat. Yeah, maybe that's the move, because I've seen a lot of people trying to reach them with... The last guy who got killed there was trying to reach them with the Bible. They don't know what a Bible is. First of all, thinking these people can read, you got to be dumber than anybody I've ever met.
You guys are nuts. You guys are nuts. Oh.
You see, as though they're rushing in. There's this desperation. They're hungry. We had a great moment where we'd given them the plantains. We'd given them the bananas.
Yeah, literal banana boat.
and he said, "Look, that's it." He said, "We've given you what you asked for. You asked for bananas. We don't cut the trees here. All of us here are not tree cutters. We're indigenous people, and and he couldn't explain who the hell we were, but they were like, we don't cut the trees. We're not the loggers.
Eric in the chat is asking, they look like they could use some freedom. Do they have resources? I know that they're watched over by the government of India. So this is off the coast of India in the ocean, from what I understand. It's a union territory. So it's completely protected. And I believe that what happens is India manages it and they send boats out there. But I'm not sure where the boats come from, because when we're looking at the map, I mean, I'm actually closer to this now than India is. Where am I at compared to it? I'm down. Okay, I'm not that close, actually. I'm not close. India's pretty close to it. But yeah, like, I think the concern is that if you bring them all to somewhere, they would die. Or if you expose them to too much, they'll die.
And they're like, okay. So then at some point, Ignacio went out and like sort of like started, he'd go like this and they'd go like this. And, he'd like dance a little bit, they danced a little bit. And then there was this very human moment of just sort of joking.
So even Ignacio warmed up.
Once he realized it didn't seem like anyone was going to die that day, things did calm down. It was a false sense of security.
Magic said they're cannibals. Are they cannibals?
I'll show you. There's a couple more things that are relevant here, though. Yeah, this is just them interacting with the boat.
This is truly incredible, man.
But then they don't have boats. They don't have stone tools. They don't... Imagine if you showed them ice. They wouldn't...
Ice deportations? Yeah, they'd probably be apprehended.
This is historic.
So bad.
I mean,
so bad.
I mean, you hear Percy Fawcett encountering the tribes. We've heard of anecdotal accounts of the tribes. This is the first time that the tribes have been filmed, that we can hear their voices, that there's a documented interaction happening. I mean, now, look how comfortable he's getting. He's so close. They asked him for his shirt.
Yeah, this dude's crazy. Who is this guy? I want to hear an interview from this guy.
He gave his shirt. They asked him for his pants. He gave his pants. He was in his underwear.
Yep.
You see the shirt?
Yo, can you guys chill with the nudity, by the way? Like, they had it half censored, half not. Motherfuckers trying to make me lose my channel. Lex Fridman, I'll be banging on your door if I get demonetized, bro. Yeah, so that's interesting. Very interesting. Let's take a look. We're going to hop into this Cenat story coming up, but I'm almost dreading it. Guys. Have you guys been seeing these videos of Cenat since he quit streaming? He is getting ripped up online, man. And I think people are finding a lot of his actions to be performative, maybe attention-seeking. For example, there's this one video here we'll look at real quick. He keeps filming himself reading. So Cenat started a secret YouTube channel where he's posting a bunch of stuff. We'll pull up the secret YouTube. Of course, it doesn't want to show me it. Here it is. And yeah, this is one of the videos that he's been posting, drawing a lot of criticism. I'm not going to lie. I have not seen somebody get roasted and ripped up on the internet like this in a very long time. But let's take a look and make our own opinion.
Spontaneity. How do I pronounce that? Spontaneity.
Damn, he didn't know he didn't know that word?
Oftentimes when I don't know what...
Bro, but every time I go to roast somebody tonight about not knowing a word, I fucked it up. That's the second time now. That's just karma. I shouldn't be making fun of people.
Oftentimes when I don't know what a word is pronounced, I get to look at how it's pronounced and what it even means.
Spontaneity.
Spontaneity. The condition of being spontaneous. Spontaneity.
Spontaneity.
Spontaneity. Spontaneity. And spontaneity.
All right, bro. Come on. You get 3 tries. Kai, you get 3 tries. It's a basic word in the English language, my guy, which apparently I can't speak either. Nah, I'm psyching myself out now. Myron Gaines absolutely destroyed Kai for this. Let's take a listen. Which, by the way, why are you destroying a guy for reading a book, dude? Like, I swear to God, is there one thing or one person Myron Gaines doesn't have beef with? This dude has beef with everybody. He's got beef with everybody.
Other streamers
can't even read a book and be in Myron's good graces. What can you do? So spontaneity isn't a word people say often. I mean, it's a word that educated people say often.
Other streamers are retarded. Y'all niggas seen Kai Cenat trying to read? Yo!
No.
Yo!
Myron, come on, man. I should have known before I played this clip. Because last stream when I played a Myron clip, I got age restricted.
Yo! Nigga, a multi-millionaire, but still reads like this. Nigga sound like he go on Super Saiyan.
It's over 9,000!
Nigga straining a read. That shit crazy. These niggas are retards. Literally fucking retards.
That was easy.
But niggas got a bunch of money. Shit is crazy. I don't want to hear shit about black people being oppressed in America, bro. Real talk. If these baboon
Somebody needs to take his sound effects away.
ass niggas can make millions and they can barely fucking read and speak, I don't want to hear nothing, bro.
Come on.
I don't want to hear nothing about racism. I don't want to hear nothing about oppression. I don't want to hear nothing about a systemic racism. Bruh, Kai Cenat is a multimillionaire. That nigga can't even read, bro. But yeah, that shit was hilarious, bro. This nigga was trying to read words and shit. I was like, oh, wow. This nigga retarded.
Now, there's been tons of people reacting, and I gotta say, though, I've been surprised about how the streaming community has been reacting to this. Like, maybe it's just too on the nose. Like, I feel like Kai is showing himself in a very vulnerable light right now. And if he's being genuine, because part of me actually doesn't really believe what Kai is doing, that's what, half of my critically thinking brain is looking at it that way. I'm like, honestly, this is probably a very elaborate promotion for his clothing company. And I would imagine he will come back to streaming. But just the whole vibe that he might be being sincere, I think he's being too sincere in a space that's dominated by maybe a little bit of machismo. No, I don't want to say machismo, but just like a hard front. Because even the women do it. It's like in streaming, you're supposed to basically be like Teflon and everything just bounces off of you and basically have no emotions. Or very little, very limited emotions. But people criticizing you and all this shit, it's not supposed to get to you, and you're supposed to act tough. So when you see somebody else being really vulnerable, I think that kind of threatens other people's fronts. If they see Kai being vulnerable and he's the biggest streamer in the world, I think that threatens their disposition. Let's look at one more reaction here, a couple more reactions. I'm trying to find the right one because, yeah, this one here. So Cuffham's been ripping this dude up. Just relentlessly.
What a song, what would it be? Viva la vida. Viva la vida. By Cosplay.
Did he call Coldplay cosplay?
What a song, what would it be? Viva la vida. Viva la vida. By Cosplay.
Oh, come on. Come on.
Who the fuck is cosplay game? Hey, nigga, just be yourself, dog. What the fuck you talking about?
Okay, I'm not even gonna lie. You know who that is? If you can describe y'all.
But bro, this isn't even funny because he actually might have reading difficulties. Like, I don't even think this is just a dude who doesn't read well. I think he actually might, like, actually not be able to read type shit.
Nigga talking about Coldplay?
Viva la vida. Viva la vida by Cosplay.
So this dude's ruthless. Cuffham playing the clip on repeat.
What you doing? Niggas' lives, Kyle. Stop playing out here with niggas' lives, Kyle. Like, what you doing? And they're gonna be artsy so bad. Nigga gonna be so fucking rare and just like exotic. Like, damn, you know you want to say fucking Dior, I'm up in all the stores. Like, you know they want to, like, come on, gang. Come on, bro.
Bro, what is that dude talking about at the end? I'm not following that train of thought. So yeah, I'll give my further thoughts, but guys, I think to properly, and just so you know, most of the streamers who've tried to watch this have quit the video. I've seen a couple streamers try to watch this. They get 2 minutes in and they quit the video. So let's take a quick look, and then I'll give my official reaction to this whole Kai business. People are asking how old Kai is. How old is he? He's younger than me. 24. So that's old enough to not be an idiot. Let's take a look. Bro hit him with the mountains and the Kanye music. Nah, it's over. Bro literally thinks he's Ye. He took the Wyoming album cover and made it the opening shot of the video. Diabolical performative behavior.
I feel like sometimes people need to self-reflect and take a step back from the broad perspective of what their life has been. I believe that there is more to this world that is much greater than myself. The energy and passion to want to do more and create is within me. That is why I quit. I quit thinking in my head of the goals I want to achieve and not pursuing them because I'm primarily known for one thing and super scared to step out that box and try new things.
Kai, what are you talking about, bro? You've been in movies. What is bro talking about, dude? This dude just went on a generational streaming run. He dropped a rap single, performed at Rolling Loud. He just did a movie with Kevin Hart. Kai, no disrespect, my guy, what are you talking about? You say you need to diversify and do different things? You've been doing different things every day. Dude's been doing like 10 things. So I don't understand the angle that like he's been in a room streaming doing nothing else. Bro's been around the world. What is this?
How much I truly can create in life.
Oh, God, bro. Please, please don't give me the date with a black background. Please don't. Bro, why are we treating this like it's something serious when it's so not? Why are we treating this like it's a pivotal breaking point, a pivotal shift? This is a dude who's rich off live streaming who wants to make clothes now. Why is it dramatic? Why are we adding dramatic music?
In the 19th century, Louis Vuitton was born and raised in Anjou, France.
Bro, stop. There's a narrator?
To see.
There's a narrator.
In the 19th century,
Kai, please don't do this to me, bro. Please, I'm done. No fucking way he hired a fucking narrator.
Vuitton was born and raised in Anjou, France to a
Dude's acting like he's making a documentary about the moon landing.
farmer and hat maker. Starting from a young age, Louis had no choice but to work on the family farm. From dusk to dawn, he planted and harvested crops, raised the animals, and stockpiled firewood. This is the story of how a homeless teenager pioneered modern luggage and laid the foundation for a billion-dollar empire.
I love how that's the research phase, by the way. This is a modern day kid, like a Gen Z's version of research, watching one YouTube video. They're literally making it seem like he's sitting there learning how to seam fabrics and looking at different cloth selections. Bro's literally watched one YouTube video about Louis Vuitton and thinks he knows shit.
A billion-dollar empire.
One YouTube video, expertise. Nah, this is rich, bro.
Alicio! Of what we were designing. Oh shit. This way, yeah? Yeah. This is cool. Ooh.
Oh. Currently, we are in Italy, where I've been for the past like 2 weeks, I would probably say. Cause I feel like if I present my own brand with my own stuff, people will find ways to be like, yo, you missed.
Oh, Nick, it was 2 videos. My bad.
There. because often when you meet the person that got their brand, you can pick out you'll be like, since it's on the come up, you'll be like, it's cool, but you missed here and here. But once it's Louis Balenci, you feel like that's the official.
Bro, who is on the come up, Kai? You're a multi-millionaire, my guy. You're a multi-millionaire. Though, to be fair, though, you know what? I actually take that back. I think it's good that Kai does see himself as a up-and-comer in the fashion space. Because from what I know about creativity, this is the hardest space to break into. I mean, guys, look what they did to Ye. Look what they did to Ye when he tried to break into the fashion space with his stuff. He had to fight for Yeezys. And he was in the room. Look, he was in the room. He talks about it, being with the fashion designers, being in Paris, going to the runway shows. They blackballed him from the fashion industry until he had his own deal with Adidas to actually go ahead and take them over from his own country, from his own way. All the European fashion designers, they didn't want Ye in there because they don't care about your clout. Here's the thing with celebrities who try to transition into fashion is that the worlds don't translate. You could be the most famous musician or actor on the planet. The people who are the gatekeepers of the fashion industry do not care about that. Now, here's the other side of the story. Kai Cenat is getting a lot of collaborators before reaching the elites in the fashion business. But he's also throwing away his streaming in the process. The one thing I think you should remember is that these dudes only want to work with him because of his streams. There is no reason any of these dudes would be working with Kai Cenat. Not that he doesn't deserve it, but if it wasn't for the streams, because he's got the clout. Kai Cenat 2026, you got the clout. My concern is if you throw the clout away, maybe you're taking the business.
You can't tell anything about it. Oh, shit. Let me see. Let me try.
Bro, it's tough, eh?
It's hard?
Yeah, because this is new, and the grip between these, is better. We can change this, because this is new. Yeah, guarda ora. Che gran padano.
Don't try this at home. Like.
The items that I want to make, I want to be able to learn the fabric, where I can get it from, everything. So I've planned to learn and not just jump into the designs.
Do you want to try this?
Yeah.
This is
Bro's acting like he's going to be making the clothes himself.
So, stand this, the points, and go like kindly.
Yeah. This is so ridiculous. The Kai Cenat sweatshop. Dude's going to be in the lab with a fucking tool making t-shirts.
Oh, shit.
No, this is ridiculous now.
When I went to Japan, my love for clothes kind of enhanced after that. Got inspired by what they were wearing, got inspired by the outfits I have put on myself, and just been falling in love with clothes, bags, accessories. A lot of the times I am boxed into this box of being a streamer. So this is one of the first times where I'm going to display something outside of my primary category. The reason why I kind of want to learn it is because I want to have an attachment to my clothes.
First of all, to the chat who's saying I'm hating, I'm not hating. Listen, we're here doing a stream, so there's not much of a stream if I sit here and say, yeah, everything Kai does is great. I'm not going to sit here and say that. This is entertainment, folks, so just relax. I'm not hating on anybody. But I'm also not going to sit here and say, wow, I'm so proud of Kai, and everything he says is wonderful. Because then guess what? When I come on here and say positive, you guys tell me I'm glazing. I make a criticism, I'm hating. I say one positive thing, I'm glazing. I get it, guys. I get it. I get it. Oh, this is his mom, I guess, now?
I know at times. Usually I'm able to handle a lot of stuff by myself and find ways through it. But I just needed some advice on just pursuing life and goals that I have to how to find the confidence and the real commitment to pursue them. Because usually at the times I've achieved so much and I've been able to knock down goals I always wanted to do, and my mindset in my head, it's just a lot of self-doubt. I'm not even depressed. I'm not sad.
Bro, even his mom is confused. Look at his mom's face. Nah, this is how I know he's cooked. Even Mama's not with it.
It's just for some reason I'm having like.
She's looking at him like, damn, my son was just rich, and so was I. And he decides to quit.
Out of self-doubt.
At the top of his game, she's like, I was rich 2 weeks ago.
Because it's out of fear of stepping back from what I'm primarily known for, which is content creation, and pursuing in another goal. One thing I wanted to ask you was like, how do you at times get over self-doubt or voices in your head saying that it's over, or voices in your head saying you might not be able to do it?
Well, first things first, you cannot let your mental take over. Some people are strong.
Oh, she's proper Jamaican. Hey, shout out Jamaica.
Some people are weak. When the voices in your head start coming, it's pushing you either to give up or keep going.
Oh my God.
Open a Leering Center. Mark, that's hilarious, bro. Quality Leering Center.
A lot of
when do
people
they show
don't get to
the little? When are they going to show the little Indonesian kids who are actually going to make the clothes?
Of the shoe.
The 19 Indonesian kids in a sweatshop, or is Kai going to be back there making it
from scratch, from the idea to physical form? So it's cool seeing the process.
The leather has to get the cord shape.
Yeah.
After they're gonna cut this, okay, and usually, do you remember now that after this you have to leave the upper
for a day.
Yeah, exactly, a day.
A day.
So we're gonna like see this, and we're gonna like have this tomorrow morning.
Why is this dude dressed like Biggie Smalls, by the way? This white guy. It's like Biggie Smalls with the head of Eminem. Like, where does it... This is the guy he's going to for fashion consultations?
Yes.
At least a night is the minimum that's...
Mm-hmm. Oh, shit. These are open.
Yeah. But just for this product.
Okay.
You remember, because we didn't have, like, open source hardware with that.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are asking in the chat if the clothing brand will sell or not. So, chat, here's the thing. Here's the thing, right, about the clothing brand. And this is why I think, in a strange way, this actually might work for Kai Cenat. So if you go ahead and take a look at the Instagram page, which has been launched already for Vivette, which is, I guess, the clothing brand, Kai's already got 174,000 followers with no posts on the IG page. So 174K with no drop. Pretty promising, launch. And not to, mention the fact that he's already famous. Here's the thing. I think his clothing brand will sell to a degree. And what I'm hoping is that this entire charade here that we're seeing with the performative videos and all of this stuff, I'm hoping is just a very elaborate promotional scheme for the clothing brand. We've seen many people do promo by pretending to quit. Very popular one. Some of the most successful people in entertainment have done it. Eminem has been threatening to quit since his first album. I remember on the Slim Shady LP, he said, fuck it, I'm quitting rap. Ozzy Osbourne did 19 retirement tours. And ultimately, it can be a pretty good promotion for your next era, the next arc. So this is what I'm going to go with: publicity stunt, guys. That's going to be my ruling for this. I think it's a publicity stunt. I think it will sell to a degree, but I don't actually think Kai's even gonna quit streaming. I think he's going to keep streaming, and he's just going to make bank off this too. It's just a way to get attention to it. But guys, don't you think it would have been better if he just dropped the... What if he just dropped the clothing line? Why does he have to quit? Why doesn't he just drop the clothes? Wouldn't you sell more clothes if you're the #1 streamer on the planet and you're selling clothes instead of just quitting and then selling them?
And you'll basically bring this to a bigger factory and be like, I want this. Like, that's what happens. So they make it, and after you bring this to a factory and be like, we need 500 of this. And they'll make that shit clean.
Remember the other factory that we went?
Yeah.
You can say to them, okay, we have this. You cannot go wrong with this.
Yeah.
You can do right now 500. Because here the sampling is faster.
Yeah.
I'm seeing, as a man, I wouldn't buy a streamer's clothing brand. Chat, would you guys buy a streamer's clothing brand? That's a pretty good point. I don't think adults are really going to buy it, but like, are adults even watching those streams? That's the thing. Like, these streamers are different from me because I have an audience of people older than me. I can't relate to streamers who have an audience of people younger than them. I've never had an audience younger than me. My audience is older, so I can't relate. It's marketing. Daniel, I completely agree. It's marketing. I don't think he's quitting anything. I think he's about to get very rich, and he's probably getting the word out about his clothing brand. You're a nudist. You don't wear clothes? This sounds fun, bro.
Wow.
Sounds liberating.
Wow. What the fuck? That's crazy. Okay. Process that there is.
Oh, we're back in the Cenat sweatshop. What garment is Kai gonna stitch today?
Slowly, okay?
Okay.
He has to learn how to stitch properly for his clothing brand because all of the clothes you buy will be stitched by him.
Since I've been here, 100% the denim process probably is the longest process that there is.
So funny. He looks so focused.
Like, literally, I did not understand how long it takes to even make denim from scratch.
Go. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Alex said, what do you even wear with those?
The process of just
I'm not hating though, but and I feel like other people are picking up on the fact that I think there's something fishy about this whole shit. I'm not hating. Listen, if Kai wants to start a clothing brand, God bless him. I hope it goes well. If Kai wants to quit streaming, God bless him. I wish him nothing but happiness. But something's cooking here behind the scenes that we don't know about.
We still have to see the.
Do you guys agree?
I know you're talking about, yeah, good direction though.
We'll skip through the last couple seconds of this.
Designing, we just got everything. Clothing brand.
Okay.
And I really want to learn, like the sewing process, just to see how.
I'm gonna take this thread and pull it under the sky and under the sky.
Under here.
Chat keeps saying he looks like Diddy, guys. He's been ripped up for that 1,000 times. 1,000 times.
And that's everybody preaches to everybody. Be yourself, be yourself, be yourself. But as soon as people get on the internet, they tell you how to be. Thank you.
Oh, I gotta see that full speech.
You guys can achieve anything that you guys want. Don't limit yourself to one category. For the past year, I've had dreams besides streaming to achieve and to pursue. I have dreams one day to become a fashion designer and start my own clothing brand. And one thing I want to say is no matter what, keep God in everything that you do. Do not ever forget about God at all. And I would love to end this with a quote that my good friend always says, and that's everybody preaches to everybody. Be yourself, be yourself, be yourself. But as soon as people get on the internet, they tell you how to be. Thank you.
Kai's right, because here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing that I learned recently. Being yourself 100% authentically only works if you're rich or famous. Take it to the bank. Any guy who is 100% authentically himself who is broke is just some crazy guy. A rich person who's doing the exact same thing or speaking just as freely is eccentric, or they're innovative, or whatever other positive traits that people attribute to it. But never forget it. You will only ever be able to freely express yourself to the highest level if you have power, influence, or money. That is a fact. Now, to add a little bit of context to this too, I can kind of relate to Kai. You know, I think Kai and I have been doing content for a similar amount of years. I've been doing content for 17 years. Kai's been doing it for over 10 years from what I know, at least. And I actually had a point this past year where I was in a similar position to Kai, if I'm going to be completely honest with my audience. I had a thing this past year where I just felt a little bit burnt out with it all. And I think it's something that happens. This is a stage that happens when you're doing something for over a decade. You reach a point sometimes where you're not sure what your relationship is with said thing. And the best way I would compare it is kind of like if you were to eat the same meal every day. You know, if I was to eat spaghetti every day for 17 years, I might love spaghetti. It could be my favorite meal. Every day I'm going to heat it up. I'm probably just going to have one day. Like, I will guarantee you'll have one day, 10 years down the line, you're going to put that spaghetti on the table. You're going to take one look at it and say, I never want to eat this shit again. Because you've eaten it so much, you've done something so much, the body and the mind can just have a switch sometimes. That's like, I don't want to do this. I want to do something else. But here's the thing with Kai, as compared to my situation. I'm still on the come up. I'm not rich. I'm not powerful. I don't have people to call to make me a clothing line. So all my ideas that I had, I kind of just had to say fuck it and put them on the back burner and get back to work because I have to earn a living. See, that's the difference. When you have this phase, and this is why it's pivotal that you go through this phase while you are broke. I guarantee you have to go through the phase where you almost quit while you are broke. Not that I almost quit, but I'm just saying you have to be near that sort of ideology because otherwise you're going to fuck up your image in the public eye. So that's what I would say.
Past year, I've had dreams besides streaming to achieve and to pursue. I have dreams one day to become a fashion designer and start my own clothing brand. And one thing I want to say...
See, like if this was me, I'd probably be running a record label right now and I'd be like, yeah, man. Streaming's on the back burner, you know what I mean? But I was like, bro, I have a lot of ideas. I need to get myself to Kai Cenat level to do it. So we're in a different vibe.
EC3.
It's the end of the video.
With great power.
And Alex, I agree, he's teachable. I'm not mad at that.
Comes what, son? You know the rest, son. You think I can hold you still like a baby?
I don't know about the Nike deal.
Let me see.
No.
Let me see.
You're gonna fall.
Guys,
Gonna get me copy strike by Ye. So look, interesting video. I'm going to stick with my verdict though. And I think my verdict is going to be that this is a very clever advertisement for the clothing brand. Time will tell what happens with that, and it remains to be seen what's going to happen, but I'm very curious. What do you guys think down below? I've seen most of my chat saying it'll do okay. Some people said it'll flop. Make sure to drop your thoughts down below, guys, and take a look at it. We have a couple more clips. And then I'm trying to decide if I should go out tonight and try to get you guys some content. It's 10:30 p.m. I don't know. Like, is Kuala Lumpur lit at night? Like, I feel like it's a city where people go to bed early. I'm not really sure. Let's take a look at this one. This is Gene Simmons on his political views, saying it's nobody's effing business what he thinks. Let's take a look at this.
What's your take on his job performance so far? Are you supportive of
They're asking about Trump, of course.
What's your take on his job performance so far? Are you supportive of the way he's handling the office?
Why do you care?
I'd be interested to see what you think, and you've known him
It's
for
all nonsense. It's all clickbait. When I was first starting to vote, there used to be a curtain, and you voted anonymously, and you voted your conscience. And nowadays, people want to know who you're voting for. What the fuck business is anybody's? It's none of your business. That's why every person, one vote makes the difference. And you guys inflamed the situation by asking people, so, who did you vote for? Who are you for? Why do you care who I like and who I don't like? I'm nobody. I stick my tongue out for a living. I would do that now, except the floor's dirty. No, don't ignore that. That was very funny.
What are you most excited about tonight?
Interesting comment from Gene, but Gene, are we actually forgetting what we've said in the past, my friend? You know, that's my only question for Gene. See, I love Gene. I'll always love Gene. I could never be against Gene. But Gene will say something like this, which is so magnanimous and it makes so much sense and he's so dead on. But then I go look at an interview from 6 months ago and I see him breaking the exact rule. Isn't this the same guy who said, fuck your freedom, or something along those lines about the vaccine? I mean, if we look up Gene Simmons' COVID quote, this is the same guy who's been telling people how to live and been expressing his opinions all along. Here's the direct statement from Gene Simmons that he said during the height of the COVID epidemic. He says, quote, "I don't care about your political beliefs. If you walk among us unvaccinated, you are an enemy. You don't have the right to go through a red light or smoke in a building. I hate this whole delusional evil idea that you get to do whatever you want because of your rights, and the rest of the world be damned." I mean, this comment's got even more ridiculous over time. But Gene, which one is it? That's really my only question. 1 second, when it suits you, you're perfectly comfortable telling people how to live. The next moment, you don't want the next person to do the same or to even question you about your beliefs. So really, that would be my question, Gene. Which is it? Yeah, definitely not a big proponent of freedom at all. Looking up, we got purebloods in the chat. Where are my purebloods at? No vaccines. For me, you understand me? I refused it. And guys, they tried to force me too in Canada because they had the vaccine passports. They tried to force me to do it, and I wouldn't do it. I remember they told me, "You're never going to travel again." I said, "Okay." They said, "You're never going to go to a restaurant again." I said, "Okay." I was withheld from family events. Wasn't allowed to go to family events, guys. And I stuck with my guns and said, fuck the lot of you. Government, big business, big pharma, fuck all you motherfuckers. You're not getting me to put this in my blood. Never did, and I never will. And I remember I was so paranoid because, man, I had to go to the hospital to get a tetanus shot during COVID, at the height of COVID. And Canada is a very, I would almost say, authoritarian country when it comes to stuff like vaccines. They basically force their citizens to get it or threaten them to be fired or whatever. But when I went through triage at the hospital to get my tetanus shot and some stitches at the time, I cut myself while moving. Every other question at the hospital was, well, which vaccines do you have? How many vaccines do you have? And every time I would answer and say none, they kept triple checking. None? None at all? None? I'm like, no, I said none. Another nurse comes over. So did you get the Pfizer or the Moderna? None. None? Zero vaccines? None at all? No. They kept asking me this. Kept asking. And maybe I need to go to the drawer and get some tinfoil and make a hat out of it and put it on because I probably sound like a conspiracy theorist. By the time they came in the room to give me that tetanus shot, guys, I was damn near ready not to take it. Because I didn't trust them. I mean, if you're forcing the population, it sounds crazy now. It totally sounds crazy now. But this is at the height of COVID hysteria, 2021, end of 2020. I didn't trust what they were putting in that needle. Sounds crazy. I remember I asked them, I was like, can I come back for the shot? They were like, what the fuck? Oh my God. But yeah, that was crazy times, man. So yeah, guys, interesting stream tonight. A lot of material to work with. We're going to come back on live tomorrow around the same time. So make sure to hit that subscribe button and like. We're on the road to 100,000 subscribers. And guys, we've gone absolutely crazy. Our subscribers are going up. I think in the last 28 days, we've done over 2 million views here on the channel. That's all you guys. That's not me. Listen, I can make videos. If nobody watches them, it doesn't mean anything. All of the success on the channel is all you guys. So just from the bottom of my heart, thank you. I don't care if a video has 30 views or if it has 30 million views. Any person who takes their time out of their day to come join me and join the fun and have us talk and share our ideas means the world to me. So thank you for being here. Thank you for lending me your ear. And I hope to continue the conversation tomorrow. So thank you so much for joining. I'm going to go tonight. Again, we're going to see if I can get some stuff tonight. I don't think Malaysia after 11 at night is going to be that interesting. But I'll go out tomorrow. I haven't even got to see the city yet here at all. I've literally just been dealing with bullshit at the hotel and getting ready for stream. But we're not missing days, guys. I don't care. Listen, I could be out touring a brand new town, partying. We're here working, putting the grind in as we should be. So I love you guys very much. Have a phenomenal morning, I guess, for most of you guys in America, Canada. Have a phenomenal day. And we'll catch you guys tomorrow